A Tribe Called Quest, Bonita Applebum. First of all, I want to say rest in peace to Fife. And this is a crazy story. The very first time I heard Bonita Applebum was before the Tribe Called Quest album came out. The album came out April 1990. We heard the song probably like the end of January, beginning of February. When I say we, it's me and the Craig brothers. The Craig brothers, just two dudes I knew from middle school who was living in Southfield, and they was DJs. They had a cousin that lived in Lansing, and he was a DJ too. And he was the devil in the music video, The Devil Came to Michigan, by the KMC crew. So we're hanging out in Lansing on a Sunday night, and we got to get back to Southfield in Detroit because we got to go to school in the morning. Shout out to Southfield High. Shout out to Cass Tech High. So listening to the radio, the Cultural Vibes show. Cultural Vibes came on Michigan State radio station. Shout out to MSU. And it was a groundbreaking show that played a lot of new music, unheard music, underground music. And a lot of rap was on the Cultural Vibes. I think it was an all rap show. But anyway, we was up on Q-Tip. We heard him on a Jungle Brothers record. Seen him in the De La Soul video, Me, Myself, and I. And I can't remember if I heard Pubic Enemy at this point, but I was familiar with it because I read about it in the Source magazine. So I definitely knew who Q-Tip was, and we was looking forward to A Tribe Called Quest. I can't remember if El Segundo video was out at this point. If it wasn't out when I heard this song, then it came out shortly afterwards. But so we ride on the freeway, listen to Cultural Vibes, and all of a sudden we hear bow, 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 now, 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 bow, 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 bow. Bonita Applebum, you gotta put me on. So we was like, oh, what's that? But we're on the freeway, and the signal from the station started fading because it's college radio, so it doesn't have a big, powerful signal. So the song is getting like less able to hear it. It's getting like dustier and signal fading out. So we're throwing the hazards and pull it over on the shoulder so we can hear the song. So the song is dope. We tripping because we never heard nothing like it before. Like Bonita Applebum was groundbreaking in the fact that when Tip was rhyming, it was like spoken word. It was like he was talking to you. It was on beat with the beat, but it was a different type of flow to the point where it wasn't a flow. It was conversational. But it was dope. So we tripping, right? So we're about to pull off the shoulder, and then we hear it. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. And we're like, oh shit, it's another Tribe song. So we stayed over on the shoulder with the houses on. And then when Fife rhymed on Can I Kick It, we really was tripping because at this point, A Tribe Called Quest was really like Q-Tip. We didn't really hear Fife rhyming on the records. So when we heard Can I Kick It and we heard Fife on there, it was like a whole different chapter had been opened up, like a whole different code for the group and what the album could potentially be with Fife rhyming. So yeah, that was crazy. So after Can I Kick It went off, whoever the announcer was got on the mic and was like, yeah, this is the new Tribe Called Quest world premiere debut, never heard before, you only heard it here, heard you hope you taped it, that type of thing. And we eventually pulled off and came back home so we didn't go to school. But it was crazy because back then it wasn't no internet. So to get music, you had to get a physical copy. whether you got a copy like this or a record, or if you dubbed a copy. CDs wasn't really the big format yet. You know, we wasn't buying a bunch of CDs back in '90. It was mainly tapes, unless you was DJing, then you was buying records. But this tape right here I got from the Renaissance Center. It was a Harmony House inside the Renaissance. Shout out to downtown Detroit Renaissance Center. And it was like after school. I used to hang out downtown like on a Friday. I didn't have to work. You know, so I would just hang out downtown for a little while. Hit the Renaissance Center, hit Trappers Alley. You know what I'm saying? The old Detroit. But yeah, I got this from Harmony House. And back in '90 now, as you can see, I still got it. But that's the very first time I heard Bonita Applebum and Can I Kick It? And I, over the years, for real, was always in interviews saying how Bonita Applebum kind of changed his way of hearing music. And I can see where he comes from with that, because it was definitely something different. And it's crazy because with me, on my journey, I never thought in a million years I would do shows with a Tribe Called Quest and just be able to be like, I know these dudes at a certain level. You know, you couldn't have told the 15-year-old Dave that he would be down with Quest at that capacity. But yeah, that part of my history, and this is one of the beginnings of me being familiar with a Tribe Called Quest. So yeah, once again, shout out to the Fife, rest in peace, and shout out to Michigan State, the Cultural Vibe Show. And it's crazy because a few years later, I found out that DJ Head and DJ Tony Tone were DJs at the Cultural Vibe Show at that time period. And I would end up crossing paths with them in Detroit hip-hop, in Hip-Hop Shop, in St. Andrews, and Street Corner Music, and places like that. So, yeah, once again, shout out to Cultural Vibes. Shout out to Lansing, Southfield, Detroit. And we out.